I guess there's only one way to find out. Let's do it to it, right?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Folks, let me welcome you to a milestone moment. This isn't episode 10. It's not episode 15. We are now officially 20 weeks in. That's 1/5 of the way to 100. Who's counting? Me. I'm counting. You better believe I'm counting. Look, there's no big corporate office upstairs giving me pats on the back. No employee of the month unless I want to make myself that. No gold stars on the board. When you're your own boss, the milestones, you gotta celebrate them yourself. That's important to learn, and I'm here for it. Episode 20, this feels good. And of course, in true New York fashion, my team's decided to give me the best gift they could with a complete dumpster fire heading into July 4th weekend. Mets and Yankees are struggling hard, and somehow the Subway Series comes up feeling like Desperation Bowl more than a baseball showdown that it was supposed to be. I got Kershaw striking on half the planet. NBA free agencies handing out money like it's Monopoly. The Knicks finally hired a coach. And LeBron rumors starting to swirl again. What else is new? Oh, and just when you thought it was safe to move on, Miami and Pittsburgh decided to swap defensive stars and blow up our NFL offseason again. And I'm not alone today. Backed by popular demand, or at least maybe some family obligation, my brother will be joining us once again to break down some of this madness. I got a packed show for you guys. 20 episodes down with a whole lot more to come. This is Rice on the Mics, episode 20. Let's do it.
Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Well, all right. Listen, there's a lot of ways you could celebrate a milestone episode. Episode 20, we're here, we're feeling good. But let me tell you something. Whatever positivity I might have had coming in, the Mets and the Yankees went ahead and stomped all over it. Goodness gracious, New York baseball right now. God, someone get me a Xanax, please. All right, let's start in Queens, because man, oh man, the Mets got hammered in Pittsburgh. And you guys agreed, voting overwhelmingly on the midweek poll that the Mets clearly had the worst weekend. They weren't just swept by the Pirates. They got embarrassed. When it was their chance to break out of it and break out of the slump they were in, they got outscored 30-4. They had a players-only meeting, which I'm sure half of it was in Spanish, and Alonso was the only white guy that probably understood it. Mendoza does his best Boone impression and gets tossed to try to rally the boys. But the bullpen just continues to melt down, and every day ending in a Y. And then Wednesday, just when you thought, they turned the page, no, they blow the lead. They give up another grand slam and drop game one of the doubleheaders to the Brewers. Because of course they did. But hey, look, let's give some credit where credit's due. Mendoza makes the move. Lindor finally gets moved out of the leadoff spot after 191 games. Can you believe it's been that many games already? And what happens? Finally, the bottom of the order does their job, which is what Stearns criticized. They turn it over and give Nimmo a shot, and he hits a grand slam. Then follows by Lindor going deep to right behind him, little Yabo back-to-back. Look at that. Smart baseball decision leading to some immediate results. Who would have thought about that, huh? So then you get on to the rubber match, okay? Great outing for Peterson. Couple calls that went our way from the umpire. Look, a win is a win is a win. You take them no matter how you get them. But unfortunately, Met fans, the good news ends quick. More pitching woes. Blackburn hits the IL. Nunez, who came back and looked great and thought was somebody we can count on, likely headed for Tommy John surgery. The pitching staff is decimated, man. 12 pitchers injured. Mets fans, 12. It's between us and the Dodgers who can fill the most IL spots at this point. But you know what? Look, the sun will surely rise, and it's always darkest before the dawn, right? Senga and Minaya are coming back. They're on the way. They might even pitch before the All-Star break. At least Senga might. So there's hope. In the words of Mrs. Doubtfire, little Robin Williams, help is on the way, dear. They're coming. And I just want to give a quick shout out to Lindor. Finally getting the recognition he deserves since he became a Met. He was finally announced the starting shortstop for the NL, for the All-Star game. Something he hasn't had his entire Met career, which is crazy. Guy finished second in the MVP voting last year, but he wasn't an All-Star. Not to mention, by the way, Pete might have gotten snubbed by Freddie. I know it's a popularity contest and it's voting, but I don't know. It's interestingly enough that during this year's contract negotiations, the whole thing was, is Pete better than Freddie, and does he deserve more money than Freddie? Well, he just lost out to him in the All-Star game, so, interesting. But speaking of slivers of hope, let's take the train over to the Bronx, and let's get on the Yankees a little bit, because, dear God, break out the brooms. A team you used to always beat up on just swept you out in their building on Canada Day, nonetheless. Game 1, Rodon and Scherzer go blow for blow. Yankees lose 5-4. Okay, respectable. Game 2, your new ace, someone you tied so much money into, and stopper after a loss all year with a .79 ERA after a loss, Max Fried, doesn't come through like he has all season. Lets up 4 runs, and then the bullpen, they took care of the rest, letting up another 8. They lost the game 12-5. Okay, 1-1 on the series. It's a wash, it is what it is. Game 3. God damn, what a mess. Before you can even sit down and scratch your balls and open your beer, the Bombers got bombed for 7 runs in the first inning. And look, they ended up clawing all the way back. Judge finally got a pitch to hit this series after he got walked the whole series. And he sure as shit did not miss it. Tied the game up 9-9. But guess what? Here we go. Here comes Devin Williams. Wild pitch. Blows it. Yankees lose 11-9 and break everybody's hearts. Kept you right on the edge and then didn't let you finish. And then game 4. Just doing your best. Just don't get swept. Tie the division back up. Go up a half a game. Worst thing. Clark Schmidt leaves after 3 innings. Elbow tightness. And then Springer just continues to dominate. He put up 3 home runs and 11 ribbies in the series. Yes, that is not a typo. You did not mishear me. 11 ribbies. Suddenly, pitching depth is looking real thin in the Bronx, too, not just in Queens. And you know what that means? A Subway series that felt like our October preview last time now feels like an episode of Survivor. Both teams are limping in. They're desperate. They're scrambling. It's going to be messy. It's going to be ugly. But, man, you better believe I'm going to be locked in for it. But, look, I've said enough. Episode 20, milestone show. I got to bring in some reinforcements. I got a special returning guest. Actually, my only returning guest. Family obligations or not. Ladies and gentlemen, my brother is back on the mic. You heard me vent about the Mets and the Yankees. But let's hear from the voice of reason, or chaos. I'm never really sure which one it is that I'm going to get with you. Welcome back. Let's start with the Mets, Rob. Where do we even begin?
I mean, we just went through an embarrassing series with Pittsburgh. I wasn't sure what the exit plan was. Looking at it, I thought that's it. You know, you go into panic mode. The fact we won today, we got 2 out of 3 from Milwaukee, one of the hotter teams in the league.
Yeah, it's a big steal. They've definitely been playing good baseball as of late.
It's after they got rained out game 1, we go into game 2. We're facing Freddie Peralta. We never hit him.
Ever.
And then guess what you're looking at? You're facing the next Paul Skeens and Mizorowski.
Yeah, Mizorowski is. I mean,
he went
pitching
3
ninja,
starts and gave up 1 run. I think
Pitching Ninja did a compare. You can tell he watched DeGrom growing up. Pitching Ninja did a comp 1 by 1 by him. It was literally the same pitcher.
Yep.
And so the league is in good hands with the future pitching coming up. Yeah, and I'm just as surprised that the Mets were able to pull that off.
The 2 people we're talking about are both in the Central, the Pirates and the Brewers. And the biggest shame out of all that, they're all small market teams.
Oh, I know.
Both of those one will end up on the Mets, one will end up on the Yankees.
Yeah, Skeens has Yankees written all over him.
Yep.
Tall, right-hander, power, mustache,
Don't need facial
white
hair.
guy. Yeah, he has Yankees written all over him. And Mizorowski, well, that'd be nice on the Mets. I'll take that all day. But I agree. I mean, they got embarrassed in Pittsburgh. You really thought it was rock bottom. Gary almost hit the rock bottom line again during the broadcast, but decided to shy away from it. And, just when you think you're out and there's no hope, they pull you right back in. They take 2 out of 3 from Milwaukee here. They look like they're getting right back on track, and now we move right into almost the Subway Series here. But I got to give Mendoza credit, man. He moved Lindor out of the leadoff spot, which was his doing in the first place. Lindor is a leadoff hitter, but you know what? You got to shake things up. I mean, you're not going to draw the lineup out of a hat or anything, but you got to shake things up a little bit. So
the way it was going, I mean, you could have did better taking it out of a hat. But, I heard on the radio today, last year when the Mets made the change of putting Lindor at 1, Lindor was always at 3. It was Nimmo 1, Marte 2, Lindor 3. And when everything started to go bad, all he said was, if you're going to move me from the lineup, I just want to be in the same spot for the rest of the year. I want to be comfortable where I'm at, which is hilarious considering when you look at Aaron Boone's lineups
I was
with
just
the
about
Yankees.
to say, tell Boone
everything. It's Goldschmidt's 1, Wells is 1, Judge is 1.
I will give Boone credit on batting Judge 1, just because if you're going to walk him all game, fine. Then you walk my leadoff hitter, then fine. That's the only. But otherwise, it's lineup roulette with Boone. But
still,
go ahead.
You moved Lindor last year. It worked out. You moved Lindor this year. It worked out for one game. The one thing that surprised me was you moved Lindor to the 2-hole yesterday in the game. You had Nimmo at 1, Lindor 2, and then, Soto 3, Alonso 4. You won last night, and then today you come out with a lineup of Marte's at the 1, and then Nimmo's at the 5. And again, it worked. You still won. But I guess you're catering to your 2, 3, 4, which are your stars. You have Lindor at your 2, Soto at 3, Alonso at the 4.
Yeah,
they don't
exactly.
want to move.
No,
but
I couldn't
believe Marte at the 1 today.
No, I think at this point Marte and Nimmo are kind of interchangeable. Righty lefty bats.
Correct.
That's really all what it is. You get a little more speed with Marte, but he's also 36. So, and you get the hustle from Nimmo. So, but I don't hate it. That's kind of what it is. So that's kind of like for the trade talks, right? So like, what do the Mets need realistically? They need a serious center fielder. Like Tyrone Taylor is great, but he's a defensive center fielder, which you can hide a defensive center fielder when he bats 9th in your lineup, not 6th or 7th.
Correct.
Right. So fine, but let's say if you traded for a guy like Duran, who doesn't play center, but whatever. Not that I exactly want Duran.
They just have 3 other people that play.
Not that I want Duran either, but Duran is a true leadoff hitter. But Lindor is a true leadoff hitter. So then Duran in the 2, okay, maybe whatever. Really, honestly, I'm fine with a guy like Cedric Mullins. That's kind of our Juan Uribe of this year. Like, can get a hit when you need it, knows how to lengthen the lineup. You can bat him anywhere. Really, if I'm the Mets, what I want is the best closer or best possible setup man available so that my 7, 8, 9, my 8, 9 is unmatchable, especially if the pitching rotation with all the injuries, how it's going to be, if I'm only going to get 5, 6 innings out of them.
When we said it from the start of the year, this was the toughest part of we spent, I guess, on average, Soto's getting $51 to $54 million a year. And everybody, because we did that, wanted them to win the World Series this year. And I said, they're not going to win the World Series this year. They're going to win it next year.
Right. I was with you with that, too, because it's not, listen, I'm not the Yankees. I didn't sign him for 1 year. I signed him for 15.
Exactly. And my thing was, like, this year, it was like we're playing with somebody like McNeil, who he's good. It's fine. He's had a solid season. We're going to move on from him eventually.
I'm over McNeil. I need to see Acuna have 300, 400 at-bats here.
He's on the roster next year, but he plays second base. And this year, I wanted it to be a test year. Nobody wanted to be a test year with signing Soto to that contract, but this year was a test year. Who's playing second?
Yeah.
Is it McNeil? He's out.
Well, who's playing third, too?
Again, that all interlaps. Second base, is it Acuna? Is it Jet Williams? Now Brett Beatty plays there.
Right.
Who's playing third? Is it Mauricio? Is it Vientos?
Beatty booted that ball at second today. Beatty's either a third baseman or he's a DH.
And then you look at center field. All of a sudden, I got an alert today. All of a sudden, it said, Drew Gilbert has his 3rd home run in 2 games today. We have all these guys coming up. So, like, if we're going to make a trade this year, it sucks. Like, if we're going to trade for somebody that's going to be here for 1 year to win a year, we're probably not going to win because the rotation. Like, listen, if Peterson, Minaya, and Senga are healthy, That's awesome. But I'd rather next year when we're
Right.
all in, when you have Tong, McLean, Sprout,
Come in with some hammers.
and Sanga's still on the roster. You have to re-sign Peterson.
Yeah.
You're stuck with Montas.
Yeah,
but
which is-
it's next year. This year, I make moves that, again, I don't think we win the World Series this year. We can. We
Yeah, I
definitely
mean,
can.
Just get in. Anything's possible.
But
They proved that last year.
I'm not trading any of these prospects that we will win the World Series with next year to not win it this year.
Yeah, I don't have an issue with that either, but at the same time, I don't want to be Cashman either. I mean, you look at Cashman holding on to Volpe to not trade for Machado and then not moving Dominguez for, whatever. And then now it turns into who's the kid that they had, the Drew Gilbert or not Gilbert? No, that's us. No, Yankees. Who's the Andrew Jones? They have Andrew Jones, Spencer Jones. Excuse me, Spencer Jones is the now. He's the. And then so they're going to turn over Volpe, and Volpe looks like he can't hack it. So then what? They're going to move on from him.
Jones is another Judge. He plays the outfield. So
now we have Stanton, Judge, and Jones, all fucking 6'9" giants, whatever. Like,
And
no,
then
man,
you
you need
still
a
have Dominguez,
right.
and
There's so, but Cashman doesn't move any of them because he's scared of what would happen. Like looking at the Mets of trading PCA for Baez. Honestly, dude, this trade deadline needs to be like the 2015 trade deadline, and it needs to be like you move Michael Fulmer for Yoenis Cespedes, and then Michael Fulmer goes on to almost throw a no-hitter, or I think he did throw a no-hitter with Detroit or some shit like that, and he looked dominant, whatever, and it's like, damn, because then in the next couple of years, the Mets had some pitching woes. It's like, damn, well, we gave up Michael Fulmer for Yoenis. Yeah, but you went to the fucking World Series. And it doesn't matter. It never matters what you give up if you go and win the ship. Do you think the Rams care at all what they gave up for Stafford with Goff? No, they won a Super Bowl. They don't care.
Exactly. And again, the one thing I saw today, like we have so many prospects coming up. We didn't grow up with this. We grew up with, there's an injury Soup plays. There's an injury Josh Satin plays.
Alejandro De Aza's
But
leading off.
one of the best things today was, and I hate Andy Martino, but he made a good point. He was like, right now we're dealing with the problem of Mauricio, Beatty, Vientos, they all play the same position.
Yeah.
And now guess what? You now have Jet Williams with Acuna, all them coming. You have 7 infielders that play 2 positions.
Yeah, you're going to have to move guys.
You
It is what it
have to
is.
Bite the bullet. And guess what? If one of them sucks or
You
trade
win.
one
Right.
and they end up becoming good, you deal with it because if we trade Vientos and he goes on to be a fucking star,
Then you know what? God
you
bless
still-
him. It is what it is.
God bless him. You
Right.
still have Jet Williams and these other guys
Right.
coming up.
Yeah,
You
I
have
mean,
7 guys
there's
at 2
always,
positions.
you always hope for trading Jared Kalenic. You never hope for trading Pete Crow Armstrong, right? That's what it is. But honestly, you can't let the fear of trading a guy who you don't know hinder you from somebody that is already a proven guy.
Correct.
Like, if you tell me, all right, hey, listen, man, you need to throw Jet Williams in this deal for, I don't know, again, just use Jaron Duran, or like, not that they would trade, but like Kyle Tucker, or like if let's say they needed a third baseman, was it Arizona Eugenio Suarez, or fucking God forbid Jose Ramirez or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, hey, you have to throw this guy in. I'm sorry, there's nobody off the table, man. I have too many guys at one position.
100%.
It is what it
How close
is.
did we get to? We traded Pete Crow Armstrong. He wasn't great in the minors with us.
Yeah, and then he came up and he figured it out, and that's
He
what happens
came
with
up,
guys.
but we traded him when he was 18. 19, 20, and 21 with the Cubs. He wasn't good. This year, he's finally good. Baez almost got us to the World Series. I make that trade every day. It was worth it.
Always.
It was worth it.
All right, let's shift here. Because we can go on a tangent all day with the Mets here. How good? And I hate to say it, but I can't not give credit where credit's due. How good is fucking Judge right now? I mean, he gets walked the whole series, and baseball's a team game, but it's really a solo game. But it's whatever. The guy is Barry Bonds level of doesn't get a pitch the whole series, and then finally the time that he does get a pitch, he destroys the ball. Honestly, listen, if he does this, which it looks like he's gonna take care of business, this is gonna be his 3rd MVP, and realistically, it could honestly be his 5th MVP, because the one year he lost to Altuve, who the cheating year, the 2017 year, 2021 year, whichever one it was, and then the other one he lost to Golden Boy Ohtani in the Angels. So realistically, he could win his 3rd MVP this year, and it kind of might be his 5th. I got to give credit where credit is due, and I know you're on the same page.
I am. but now let's also look at it this way: of Ron Washington with the Angels. First of all, I'm sorry, he's out for the rest of the year. Ron Washington, he's having health problems. Don't know what it is. I wish him the best. Last I checked, the Angels were like 39, 34. For them to be over 500 is fantastic.
Yeah.
But Ron Washington started that of you start the inning, I walk you. Or if there's 2 outs, I walk you. Now we saw Toronto do that this series.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's starting to understand it. But now who is protecting Judge? They walk Judge, and then you have Volpe after him hitting to double plays or whatever. If the Yankees are going to do it, I'm not saying this as a Mets fan, but they need Soto behind him.
Or in front of him, right. Well, yeah, so that's the thing, right? So Jazz has come on as of late, but they're forcing him to play third, and, Jazz kind of already has, like, some swagger, some attitude to him. Like, realistically, like, Jazz is doing well playing third now. If he was playing second, he would probably be lights out, whatever. But Boone does his fucking lineup roulette, and it's like, oh, Ben Rice is catching and leading off today, and then it's this guy, and then that, whatever. So there's no chance for them to get into a rhythm. At least when Soto was there, it was Soto 2 and Judge 3 or vice versa, whatever the fuck it was. If you're sacrificing defense for hitting, which is what lost you the World Series last year. You're trying to stick with LeMahieu for God knows what reason. And it sucks that Oswald Peraza broke his ankle. If he didn't break his ankle, then there's your Cabrera. There's your third baseman. Jazz can play second. You can figure out. Honestly, yeah, it was. And honestly, the way that Volpe's struggling, like I still have some hope in Volpe. I know you don't, but I still have some faith in Volpe. He's a hometown kid. I want to root for the Jersey kid. But at this point, you might as well pay Jazz as short. I mean, he played some short in Miami, right? Like
that's the problem. Jazz came up as a shortstop prospect,
which every great player does.
He came up as a shortstop. They play him at shortstop. Then they moved him to center field. Then when he got traded to the Yankees, they're like, come play second. Then he goes to the Yankees, and they're like, oh, just kidding, play third. And listen, Jazz is performing in whatever set you want to say, he's doing okay. But could you, unless you're Ben Zobrist, you can't play 5 fucking positions.
Yeah, right. I forgot about some good name drop.
That's brutal.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm not going to compare it to slow pitch softball, but like,
no, but
you're comfortable batting second and playing third.
Yeah, you know where you hit in the order. You feel good about it. You know who
he plays the game trouble. He hits the button.
Right.
And he's like, well,
it also plays into who's in front of you. You know who's in behind you. Yep. You know what the speed on the bags is in front of you. Yep. You know who might be taking a pitch behind you. You know how they work the count in front of you. Like, it's 100. It's not 12 games. It's not 15. It's 162 games. You learn everybody's tendencies of, okay, hey, it's 2-2. This guy, if he gets a slider outside, I know he's going to maybe push it to the right. But now it's not that guy that I know. No. It's another, whatever.
What we said. Lindor said, if you want to move me out of the 1, or a couple years ago, you want to move me from the 3 to the 1, I just want to stick in that spot. I want to have a routine and know what I'm doing.
Right.
See the pitch, see who's behind me, know their tendencies. But I couldn't imagine playing on the Yankees where Judge is 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. I got to look at the lineup card and,
the other day,
maybe I'm playing catcher today. Like, I have no idea. Right.
The other day, Dominguez lead it off. Then he batted 9th. And
yeah.
then he had 4 hits. And
exactly. What a dog show, too. That's terrible.
Insane.
Oh, he needs it. That's the old school Terry Collins day. Like, oh, he needs a day off. What did he go, 4 for 5? Yeah, give him a day off. He was too hot.
Put
what are you, fucking crazy? All right. So let's just touch on it. We're running long on time here. Let's touch on it quickly. How about Kershaw hitting 3,000 strikeouts?
We've seen all of the good lefties that have done it. I think it was Johnson, Kershaw.
It was
Johnson, Kershaw. There was 2 other lefties in our lifetime that we've seen.
Yeah, I forget who they are, but RJ's the big one. RJ, so Kershaw just hit 3,000. RJ's got 48.
Jesus.
48. And by the way, Nolan Ryan has like 52. Like, it's not even close. Nolan Ryan always has the best story when he beat the hell out of Robin Ventura at like 45 years old. That was the greatest thing ever. But, yeah, congratulations to Kershaw. Number 22, that's my number. That's proud of him, happy for him. Just nice to touch on there. All right, so lastly, before we get you out of here, this weekend, 4th of July weekend, happy 4th, everybody. Mets, Yankees, how much weight does the Subway Series actually hold this year or this second half? And give me your prediction on games 1.
Well, it holds a lot because last year the Mets swept both 2-game series, home and away.
So, yeah, but now it's 3 games, and they lost 2 out of 3 at
Exactly.
Yankee Stadium.
Exactly, and it sucks. It wouldn't mean as much. Like, the Mets and Yankees have been both 2 of the best teams.
Yeah.
Now they
Except
both
as
been,
of late, right?
Now they've both been terrible. And now this series, you have the Mets. They're about to throw 2 bullpen games. Tomorrow
that's crazy to think about.
Tomorrow is Hageman.
Who?
Exactly. Who? He's supposed to start the game.
What are you now?
When you could have easily brought up one of your prospects today. Noel McLean. We love McLean. We want him to come up.
Oh, yeah.
We let him start in AAA today. He went 5 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, 10 strikeouts.
7 hits is rough. 10 strikeouts is
But
nice.
10 strikeouts.
7 hits and 10 strikeouts in 5 innings?
Yes.
What the fuck was his pitch count?
89 pitches, 58
He
strikes.
gave up 7 hits and had 10 strikeouts, and his pitch count was only 89?
Yes.
What?
That's what we look
What?
at Clay Holmes. Clay Holmes does that every week.
That's
every week he goes
insane.
5 innings, gives up 1 run.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like they're
sucks.
gonna. It looks like they're gonna probably bring up Sprout,
Yeah,
whichever it
so
is.
Sprout is Sprout, whatever. He's supposed to go Sunday. Right
Don't
now,
worry, producer will get
right now they
clarification on that eventually.
Right now they have Brandon Waddell. That's
Yeah, I
supposed to
saw
go
that
Sunday.
Waddell. Yeah, yeah.
It's going to be Hageman tomorrow. Throws 90 pitches. They option him. They bring up
You
Sprout.
know what, dude? Just do it. Just bring up Jonathan. Just do it. Just fucking throw him out Sunday Night Baseball.
He's 20 years old.
Double A baseball, the fucking major
And I
leagues.
told
Throw
you-
him
I
out.
told you before.
Guy looks like Tim Lincecum.
What did we do in 2014? 2014, Mets Yankees Subway Series. We had Rafael Montero,
Who was supposed to be the next coming of God.
and he went May 14th, 2014.
Yeah.
He went
What was his line?
6 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs.
Okay, respectable.
The next day, we brought up Jacob deGrom, May 15th,
Which
2014.
is the GOAT.
And he went 7 innings, 1 run, 6 strikeouts. And we lost 1-0.
By the way,
which was
literally the
his
story of
career.
his career. Yeah, not to step on you. Literally the story of his career.
So
Yikes.
it's when you look at it like that was 2 stars that were coming up. They both threw great games. Why can't we repeat this? We got swept by the Pirates. Yes, we won the series with the Brewers. As I said to you when we were talking before this, Mendy tried to amp up the team while we were getting swept. He got ejected. It didn't work. When we brought up these 2 stars, that's a kick in the nuts. And we're like,
It's a little,
shit.
it kind of shows the other
What's
guys too.
going-
Like, we're not fucking around.
Can you imagine pitching for the Mets and you debut against the Yankees and you sit them down?
And by the way, that's what DeGrom did, and look how that turned out. By the way, it's not going to happen, but I would love
It
for them
kills
to bring
me.
DeGrom home.
It kills me because Stearns was asked after yesterday. He said, "Why aren't Sprout and McLean coming up?" And he's like, "Well, if I'm going to bring them up, I want them to come up regularly. I don't want them to come up for a spot start." But here's the thing: you bring them up for a spot start, then these starters then say back to Stearns, "I dare you to send me back down.
Yeah,
Look
right.
how good I just did.
Yeah, watch this. Oh, you need pitching help for now? I'll stick around.
You need pitching help."
Shit, that's what Tyler McGill's been doing for fucking 4 years.
Exactly.
But you know what?
After DeGrom got
To be fair,
did that
though-
start, he never went back
No,
down.
yeah, he didn't.
Montero went back down.
Montero went back down. To be fair, though, these guys that they're going to pull up, they expect them to be like they expect them to be Smoltz, Maddox, and fucking Glavine. They expect them, these 3-4 guys, they expect them to be the next generation of Harvey, Wheeler, Matz, and Syndergaard.
And that didn't work. Let's figure it out if it works
Well,
now.
it worked enough. I mean, went to
Good
the World Series, but
Went.
yeah.
Didn't win it.
It
I
is what
would
it
force
is.
the hand.
I hear you. I hear you. 100%.
Stearns also said he was like, "I'm in no rush to bring the kids up because next week Senga and Manai are back."
Yeah.
Force his hand.
Yeah.
Then guess what? In the middle of those 2 starts, Montas, you better pitch good.
Well, I'm telling you right now.
You said I'm tipping. You said I'm tipping pitches. You better correct it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Correct it. Pearson's with us. He's good.
Yeah.
Pearson's good. Holmes has been good. Eventually, he's going to die with the innings.
Well.
But then you could have McLean.
Well,
You
the
could
good thing with
Sprout.
the thing with Holmes is like, even if he dies with the innings, well, guess what? Now I have a 7th inning man.
Exactly.
Right. So, all right, let's wrap this up. I will say the only non-touchable prospect for me at this point is Jonah Tong.
Hell
That's
yeah.
it. It's not even close. Guy looks
It's
like
my
10.
He's only
Limpscomb, bro.
20. He's
Dude,
only
I love
20.
it. All right, well, there it is. New York baseball in a nutshell. A little good, a little bit of bad, actually, a lot of bit of bad. And probably some ugly baseball ahead of us this weekend with the Subway Series. But hey, man, that's why we watch. That's why we play the games. Stick around. We're gonna take a quick breather. Some NBA and some NFL coming up, and trust me, the chaos is just getting started. All right, friends. Deep breaths now. We survived the baseball chaos. And I had to pry the mic out of my brother's hands. And he's probably cooling down somewhere with a White Claw after that Mets and Yankees rant. But the madness continues. And now it's my turn to sound off because the NBA decided this was the week to start throwing monopoly money around again. Just like they do every offseason. So let's dive right into the chaos. We'll keep it local and start with the Garden. The Knicks finally, the Knicks have a head coach. And let me tell you, based upon the midweek mic check, your reaction to Mike Brown was a little less than warm. Probably about under 40% approval. And look, I get it. Knicks fans, look, he wasn't the flashy choice, and based upon every name that got thrown at us, you got to admit, at least it's nice just to have someone nailed down. And here's the thing with it. Look, he's coached LeBron. He's coached Steph. He had a stint with Duncan. Hell, he even coached the Black Mamba, Kobe Bean Bryant himself. So now tell me what is something that all of those great players have in common. They are all masters of their craft and have exceptional talent. But all of them need someone who isn't afraid of their stature and how good they are and will get in their face and push them to be the best player they can be. Tough love is a lost art in the coaching game. And a lot of players are soft nowadays. But the great ones know how good they are and how good they can be, but they also aren't afraid of an authority figure getting in their face and pushing them even harder. Now, tell me that's not exactly what gets Brunson going. What gets Josh Hart going? How about OG? Shit, that's probably what Big Cat needs to take his game to an even higher level. Look, he's got 2 Coach of the Year trophies. He can handle New York and the media. Honestly, I hate to say it, but he's basically Thibodeau 2.0, but he's willing to actually play his bench, which, by the way, just got much stronger with Jordan Clarkson added to the mix. I don't know. The more I think about it, the more optimism in me grows for him. And with the East being as wide open as it looks this upcoming year, if he can't handle it, if he can't make it happen in New York, I don't know who can. And speaking of making it happen in New York, this whole LeBron to the Knicks thing, I don't know. On the poll this week, your words, by the way, your words, not mine, overwhelmingly voted just posturing and it's bullshit. All except one person, my buddy, local Knicks diehard. You know who you are. He was the only one that voted that everything lines up perfectly. Optimism level 1,000. Delusion level maybe higher. But, I respect the opinion, my friend, and I love you for sticking to your guns. First base buddies for life, bud. So, now let's ask ourselves about this, though. Where there is smoke, there is fire, right? And things kind of do actually line up. So it's kind of worth talking about. Look, Big Cat's making $53 million, and LeBron just opted in making $52.5 million. So if you got to make the money work, that'd be a 1-for-1 right there. You wouldn't have to blow up the roster. And it'd be superstar for superstar, so to speak. I'm not saying I wouldn't want LeBron, but I kind of also don't want LeBron. He's jilted us in the past, and that's something that this fan base doesn't forget. Plus, if they won the ship with him, it would be all about LeBron instead of Brunson and this team of hard-fought grinders that put the work in. And I don't know. That would be annoying as hell. But, on the other side of the coin, the Knicks haven't seen a ship in, 50, 60 years? And at this point, you'll take it how you can get it. I mean, hell, you wouldn't kick a dog out of bed. Never mind one of the best players of all time. And not to mention the legacy status that would come out of it. You know, we all read the article, and if you listen to the podcast, I talked about it last week. LeBron came out and said this ring-chasing culture is weird, and it's a team game, not an individual, blah, 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 blah. And we all read through the lines of that, and basically that was him saying, I'll never be able to catch Jordan. But if you came to New York and you won, you're not only talking about cementing yourself as a god in New York and everywhere and swaying the public in your favor because, you know, everyone knows that if you win in New York, you walk on water. But now it turns into, to make an equivalent for my baseball fans out there, a Theo Epstein level of gravitas. You did the undoable. You brought a title to Cleveland, something which nobody thought was possible, just like the Cubs. Then you break the curse and you bring a title to New York, just like Theo Epstein did in Boston. So, if you do that, you might not match Jordan in rings in the long run, but you win in New York, that's enough to really start having a serious conversation about the best to ever do it. Well, okay. Now that we got the Knicks and LeBron out of the way, time to buckle up for the money getting thrown around in free agency. It went from 0 to 1,000 in a blink. So let's run through the big ones real quick, right? Okay, well, let's start us off. DeAndre Ayton, he gets bought out in Portland and then joins the Lakers, which they didn't even think was a possibility. Gets a 2-year deal, and they desperately needed a center. So now you pair him with Luka, both from the 2018 draft class, by the way. And while LeBron is still there, Lakers fans are convinced they're a shoo-in for the title already. So that's great. James Harden goes back to the Clippers, $81.5 million. They give this guy a raise coming off a vintage step-back year and, I don't know, I guess a locker room leader role. I don't know. Let's see how this ages. My money's on not good. Jabari Smith Jr. stays in Houston, gets locked up, $122 million. Rockets picked who they wanted to build around, and they made sure to keep him out of the Durant deal. And they're going to build their franchise around him, for better or for worse. Loyalty. Oof. Remember that. Loyalty. The Bucks decided to just rip up their roster. They're waiving Dame, who gets his full $113 million that he's owed. But it clears room, I guess, for Miles Turner instead. Which a business decision clearly. One that when the reports came out immediately that Giannis was not happy about. And the midweek mic check poll was split 50-50 this week. Half you say that business is business, and the other half said that you got to respect the legend. I'm personally leaning business. I mean, older player, great, but older player, torn Achilles, I don't know. But, man, does Dame have a hell of a fan base. The Celtics move on from just about everyone. And there were even reports of them potentially shopping Jaylen Brown on draft night or Derek White on draft night, which neither one happened. But, again, where there's smoke, there's fire, right? And the Pistons are swapping Malik Beasley, gambling Malik Beasley for Duncan Robinson. You can't bet on your players apparently, but I guess you can bet on Duncan hitting some corner threes, right? The Cavs picked up Lonzo Ball, who's never healthy, and they send Isaac Okoro to Chicago. Darius Garland's hurt again. Sam Merrill gets paid. I don't know. I'll let you guys decide if that's exciting news or not. As I mentioned before, the Knicks, they get Yabusele from Philly. Great takeaway from Philly. Love that. Get a nice center. And they also signed Jordan Clarkson, finally adding some scoring off the bench. Could definitely fill that DiVincenzo role that we missed so much last year. So, I'm not mad at it. Some smart moves by Leon so far. The Nuggets and the Nets. The Nuggets trade Michael Porter Jr. for Cam Johnson. And they got some picks with it, too. Denver got off the luxury tax by doing that, but I wonder how Joker feels about it. I mean, him and MPJ were good buddies, and now he's Brooklyn's problem. But you know what? Maybe he'll flourish in New York. There's no pressure. We'll see. Naz Reid ends up back with the Timberwolves. 5 years, $125 million. That's a crazy number. And apparently Minnesota loves Naz, and Naz loves Minnesota. What are we talking about? Tough break for Memphis. Jaren Jackson Jr. undergoes turf toe surgery literally the day after they signed him to a 5-year, $240 million extension. Talk about a bait and switch. I mean, look, he'll probably be back by the season tip-off, but if you're Memphis, I mean, not the news you wanted or the situation now that you have to monitor. Jesus. And last but surely not least, after winning the Triple Crown and the NBA title, Thunder go right after it, and they lock SGA up on a historic Supermax. 4 years, $285 million. That's the largest per-season salary ever. $70.1 million a year. That makes Soto blush. But I guess, you know what? When you win MVP, when you win the Finals MVP, when you're the scoring champ, when you're the champion of the NBA, that's what happens. That's what you get. So, Thunder fans, congratulations. Sam Presti, congratulations. Must be nice to draft an MVP. You know? Whatever. Folks, that is really it for the NBA right now. But knowing this league, there for sure will be more to come by the next episode. But nonetheless, a whirlwind as usual. We covered it all today. Knicks, Lakers, Bucks, Thunder, Pistons, free agency. Nobody's safe. But stick around because we're not slowing down just yet. Coming up next, we got some NFL deciding to throw some blockbuster trades and some drama our way. This is episode 20, milestone episode. Rolling on. Let's get it. Well, now with the NBA money out the door, and just when you thought it was okay to sit back, relax, and watch some baseball and some summer sports, nope. NFL GMs are out there looking at their phones, looking at their roster, and they're saying, well, what if we blow everything up again, right? Steelers and Dolphins are swapping defensive players in Ramsey and Fitzpatrick. And Miami, how you feeling? Look, Minka's back home, but you're sending Ramsey, Jonnu Smith, and a pick swap to Pittsburgh. Not to mention that Zach Wilson is a Tua injury away from being your starting quarterback. So, you know. And Steeler fans, you've added Rodgers, you added Metcalf, you added Ramsey now, Darius Slay, Jonnu Smith. I mean, it basically feels like the Steelers are running a Madden franchise mode with the salary cap turned off at this point. And the Mike Check poll this week was split pretty evenly down the middle on who won the Ramsey-Fitzpatrick swap. So, clearly, neither fan base is entirely thrilled or devastated, but Raheem Mostert took to social media with some choice words from Miami. So apparently not everybody is happy in Dolphin land. And, wait, Miami did bounce back, though. They signed, or they traded for Darren Waller. He's now given up his music career and is coming out of retirement. And he's back in football, I guess. Gets traded from the Giants to Miami. He joins Frank Smith, his former Raiders tight end coach, which he flourished under. So maybe he can make something happen. I don't know. Dolphin fans, if nothing else, you got to love the resiliency, I guess, right? But speaking of resiliency, or maybe lack thereof, TJ Watt's holding out, man. And he wants his money after watching Myles Garrett get paid like he just bought the Browns franchise. Steelers, well, they're not biting just yet. And because of that, now some teams are calling if TJ Watt's available. And Pittsburgh continues to play roster roulette in an increasingly harder and harder division. So just when you sign all these guys, just when things start looking up, I mean, you got to have that classic Steelers drama. There's not too much else going on in the NFL right now, unfortunately. It will pick up before you know it. But stick with me here. Episode 20, we're breaking new ground here. We're going to go from gridiron trades to jumping across the pond for some strawberries, some cream, and some tennis chaos. Yes, that's right. We're talking Wimbledon today. Green grass, fancy hats, strawberries, cream, and, complete chaos. 4 top 5 seeds have already gone goodbye in round 1. That's not a typo. That's not a misread. Absolute madness. Coco Gauff, fresh off her French Open win, gone, round 1. Pegula, out of here, round 1. Zverev, early flight home, gone in round 1. Daniil Medvedev, who's one of my favorites, also first round exit. And you know what? Let's pour one out for Jasmine Paolini too, our favorite 5'3" Italian stallion. Tough break, tough bracket. She got bounced too. But that doesn't mean we don't have the heavyweights still either. Djokovic and Alcaraz are looking locked into a finals trilogy. This collision course feels like Djokovic got an appointment every year. You can always pencil him in for the grass court. And on the women's side, Iga is handling business, and so is Sabalenka. Number 1 and number 2 seeds. Everyone around them is dropping like flies, but these two, they're in a dead-on collision path for the finals. And that's exactly what tennis has been looking for. And so, just like that, we've gone from blockbuster NFL trades to some Wimbledon tennis chaos. Episode 20 continues to keep the hits coming. Football season is ramping up slowly but surely. And when the time comes, trust me, we're going to have so much coverage and so many hot takes and fantasy and betting. We're going to have so much for football season, you won't know what to do with yourself. But until then, settle in. I got all the sports news covered and everything you need to know to keep yourself sounding like the smartest person at the bar. All right, we made it. 20 episodes, folks. 1/5 of the way to 100. And it's a number, yeah, but, you know, milestones matter. And when you're building something from the ground up, every single milestone counts. So, big thanks to all of you. Thanks for joining me on this ride. And an extra thanks to my brother for coming on, venting about the Mets and the Yankees. That's therapeutic as always. Look, we covered a lot today. New York's baseball turmoil heading into a desperate Subway Series weekend. NBA free agency breaking the bank as always. And NFL teams forgetting that the salary cap even exists. And even some Wimbledon jumping in. Some upsets and some chaos. If nothing else, we learned today that no lead is safe, no paycheck is too big, and no bullpen is safe. But seriously, 20 episodes in, and I can't thank you enough. Every listen, every review, every vote on the midweek mic check, every single comment on a post, every DM of, hey, what do you think about this? It means the world to me. And I love building this community listener by listener, brick by brick, as Portnoy would say. You guys shape this show as much as I do. I mean, look, I'm the voice, I'm the talent, but you guys are the conduit. And without y'all, I'm just another idiot yelling into a mic. So you already know the deal. But if it's your first time listening, make sure you follow along on the Instagram. That's at Rice on the Radio, just how it's spelled. DM me whenever you want about whatever you want. Hell, don't be afraid to even send me a meme or some reels or something. I'm always up for a good laugh. And if you have the courage, call the hotline, 732-588-6869. Leave me a voicemail. Even if I don't even use it on the show, I'd love to hear your voice and I'd love to hear from you. So, as always, keep your take sharp, keep voting in the polls, and keep the conversation flowing, man. We got big things ahead, and the next 20 episodes, you're not going to want to miss them. So have a safe and happy 4th of July weekend. Don't end up like JPP and lose some fingers. Enjoy the Subway Series if that's even possible. And the most important thing I want you to take out of all of this is spread good energy in this world. Make sure you tell somebody you love them. That positivity you put out there, it comes back tenfold. I promise. Rice on the Mics, episode 20, officially wrapped up. Catch you guys next week. Love y'all.